Question 27 for RPGaDAY 2016 is most unusual circumstance or location in which you've gamed. Now I'm going to have to cheat a bit here again because, to be honest, I've not gemmed in that many unusual circumstances. Most of my games take place online, so they're in this little box here, or they take place in person, normally around someone's home or at a convention, in which case you're normally in a convention hall. Stands to reason. However, there was a discussion which I hope one day will eventually come to fruition when myself and a few friends went up to Scotland to camp, because they have a law in Scotland where basically anywhere that's not private land, as long as you're not causing a mess, you can effectively camp there, whereas in England and some other places you have to stay at specific campsites. Now I have a friend, Peter Forrester, who's very into his sort of bushcraft. In fact, he runs a YouTube channel which is all about that. I'll put a link to that down below. And a few of us went up to Scotland to stay in what's called a bothy, which is basically a small stone shack, sort of normally in the arse end of nowhere. But the idea is that anyone who's sort of travelling through the area who needs to take shelter can use this stone hut, this bothy, which normally has like a fireplace, etc., for you to take shelter in during the night and stay out of the elements, which, given that it was absolutely pissing it down for most of the time we were in Scotland, was a great thing. Now, although we didn't actually get round to do any role-playing while we were there, we did talk while we were sort of sheltering in there from this massive storm outside, rain going sideways, thunder, the works. We did say that it would be a great idea to get a group of people together, trek up to one of these huts, and potentially run some sort of horror RPG scenario whilst you were sat around in the huts. Because after all, one of the things about horror is it relies very much on player buy-in and creating that atmosphere, which, with the best will in the world, is difficult to do when you're sat around in a comfy room, on a chair, or you're looking at a computer screen. Difficult to be horrified about that. And of course you can do a few things to sort of set that ambiance. You can turn the lights down, you can maybe have things lit by flickering candles. That's absolutely grand, but it's still difficult to get yourself out of that mindset that you're sat in a comfortable room, although some people can do it to varying degrees. But we were saying it'd be great if you were actually sat around in this small stone hut in the middle of this sort of almost barren landscape, with the rain hammering down outside, thunder sounding in the distance, maybe a few candles lighting the place, and just run a role-playing game, a horror scenario, whilst you were there. Nothing too complicated in terms of rules, but I think having that additional sort of sensory input from the environment would really help to push that much needed atmosphere for a horror game very much to the fore. So I'm hoping that at some point in the future we do actually get around to doing that, although with everyone being busy in real life it's more and more difficult to get a group of people together now. So I don't know for definite it'll happen, but there's always hope. So that's my answer for question 27, the most unusual circumstance or location in which you've gamed. Not done it yet, but we're hoping at some point to run a horror game in a bothy in Scotland. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for question 28 of RPGaDAY 2016. Until then, take care and happy gaming.